The first video I had to delete because I got interrupted midway through the video. Okay, so this is where I was going at. This video was about Street DPS Gadgets 2020. I've seen a lot of these, and I figured, I'll put out my own and just see, what people think of how I did it and how I'm doing it. Now, mind you, my artifacts as of right now are not up to par as of yet. I'm still searching and watching as in regards to picking and choosing what artifacts I feel like can work best with me or best with the loadouts that I have set up. Okay, so here's my DPS gear, all of it, from weapons all the way down to both my rings, down to my utility belt. My artifacts are here. As you can see, recommended for DPS, tactical advantage, and then recommended for DPS as well here. So yes, I have those, and I'm working on them, and I'm trying to see, in regards to what artifacts work the best with gadgets DPS. And as you can clearly see with those artifacts, they are not up to par at all. Not like high ranked level artifacts right now. They're nowhere. Not right now. I'm still going through those, and I'm still trying to figure that part out. But as far as my gear and my mods, I figured out for myself already, and the loadout. Now, as you can see with my weapon, I put weapon attacks have a chance to activate a shield reducing damage by 75% until damage equal to 30% of your health is prevented. This occurs every 60 seconds. Then you have another one here. If you lose 75% of your health in a 5-second period, heal 30% of your health only occurs every 5 minutes. Then here we go with the Gadgets Battle Display. Reduces the cooldown by 10%. Using supercharge ability restores 5% of my max charge. Heals your small amount when I use fear gas. Here we go. My rollout is no longer available to interrupt. Regenerative shielding requires boost. Heal yourself when using your shield power. Sorry, shield myself when I'm using the shield superpower. And that's about it for the mods for now. Here's where my might is as of right now, and my precision is as of right now. This is only on my DPS version of my gadgets. Now, this is where I put my skill points. A majority of them I put it all the way down, as you can see, to might and power. I don't have that filled up yet, so this is again an early review of it in regards to before I have that all filled up, before I have the position spot filled up, and before I have critical attack damage filled up. Because my plan is to have all of this filled up for that, and then the next thing to go on to would be the health part. Okay, now now that all that is out the way, let's go with the loadouts. From the loadout, I have Stasis Field, which causes dazing effects, right? Dazed enemies, making them vulnerable to dazing effects. So once I pop that, which is a 6-second cooldown, the next thing I do is use Neutral Neutralizer, which is a 11.5 second cooldown. Why do I do this? Simple. Even though it says dazes enemies, making them vulnerable to dazed effects, like the first one does, that's a 6-second cooldown. The reason why I use it right after I use the first one is because it's simple. Look at the bottom. Dazed enemies take additional damage. So while they're already dazed, I'm dazing them again and causing more damage. Then I'll use the Guz Grenade. These enemies take additional damage, and then on top of that, they also become electrified. Right? Once electrified, the next out power I have is Cryofoam. Burns when used against electrified enemies. Electrified enemies take additional damage. Now, the one prior to that was Guz Grenade. Guz Grenade electrified them, so now they're burning because they're already electrified, and then they take all more damage because electrified enemies take additional damage. Now, if you read lower than that, it also states that burning enemies take additional damage. Now, as you can see, that's about 2-3 times more damage that the person will be taking. And because it's right after the Guz grenade, it also puts down on what? Inflicts force bite on enemies, making them vulnerable to freezing effects. Okay? Oh, and as you can see down here, it says frostbite enemies freezes and become encased, but burning enemies will not become encased. So, just because they're not encased doesn't mean that they, don't have the frostbite. It does inflict the frostbite as it states up top. But as you can clearly see, these two work beautifully together, in my opinion. And it's only a 5-second cooldown. This is a 5-second cooldown. This is a 6-second cooldown. Worked beautifully together. As I said earlier in this video, it does about 2 to 3 things at one time. Now you have fear gas that comes right behind it. Now they're already burning, so it says burns when used against electrified enemies. Mind you, they were already electrified over here. Then it says burn enemies when used against electrified enemies. Electrified enemies take additional damage, and burning enemies take additional damage. So all three, right, of how these two work compounds on top of the field gas. Next thing I have in line is suppressor torrent. The suppressor torrent is a 3-second cooldown. Now, that, as you can clearly see, it states power interactions. Electrified or burning enemies take additional damage. Dazed or force-bitten enemies take additional damage. So all of this is working completely in tune and in sync with each other. And I'll show you now how I use it all together. Okay, where we at? We in the combat? Okay, cool. Let me set this up. Suppressor torrent. Now you go in, click, click, boom, boom, then boom. As you can see to the side, that is where it's at. Damage 10.1 seconds, 16, 14, 13 total, and then 145 hits, 72, 48 max, 36, 24.8% criticals, and 8 targets. Now, let's rotate it all together, clearly. There you go. Without any mess ups on my part. So there you go again. Now it's yeah, as you can see on the I'm sorry, on the damage area right about here. Let me bring this up. We'll go again into the fray. And that's just without the suppressor turn. Let's see what it says. There you have it. Now with the suppressor torrent, there you go. I hope this was informational to you. Now, also, what I've come to find, now this you can do whether you like to or not. Again, I'm not saying this is the best loadout. I'm not saying these are the best options. I'm saying this is how I find the options work best for me. Now, what can I say? Here, where is it? Battle display. I was in a situation where I did have battle display in that square box. Here, where's the Aces field is at. So I will pop my shield as far as from neutralizer, then press battle display, right? Then I will press everything else behind it. The reason for that is because it says survey the battlefield for enemy weak points through a heads-up display empowering your attacks to deal additional damage. Now, that's the only reason why I had that there. Now, we can try to do this without the suppressor torrent. Let's find out. Let's take out the suppressor torrent. Put in battle display. And let's see how much damage we can do now. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to walk away for a little bit because it's not registering yet. So let's take him out and put this one in. Okay. So we're in battle. Boom. Boom. Battle display. And there you go. Comparing the two, I don't believe that this version of the loadout was better than the one that I had. I don't believe so. We'll check it again. Okay, let's add in back the suppressor torrent. Let's walk away for a second. Add back in suppressor torrent. Oh boy. I'm sorry guys, I gotta make sure that this comes out. This goes back in. There we go. Now we still have there on the left hand side of the screen what happened when we used the battle display the way we did, along with the repetition of the rest of the powers. And we're gonna compare it to with the suppressor torrent. Let's jump into battle here. Here. And there you have it. There's also an option that I did have where I did put the battle display by that where station field was at. Then I took out suppressor torrent, and I took out suppressor torrent and removed that and added proton blast. Why? Because it says bombard your targets with a powerful protonic ray, damaging it and then damaging it again. If the target is below 35% health, that attack deals extra damage. So I did have those two in there. But personally, I don't remember what happened when I was experimenting with that there. So my thing with that is, I don't know. I mean, you guys can figure that out, or I can make another video after this and put that in play, and we can compare the outcome of it a bit later. But this is what I do. This is what I have so far, and this is how far I've come. This is with keeping in mind all the other options that was around that I seen on YouTube, and then everything that I read on my own regarding DPSs for gadgets. You guys have a good day. Let me know if you find a better way, And like, share, subscribe. Thank you.